Ben Carson news for today. There it is. Well, moving on tonight, of course, we've got some Indiana lawmakers holding back on hate crimes laws.
Yes.
I guess Indiana, they love to hate. Yeah. Indianapolis, Indiana, one Indiana lawmaker says his colleagues are just too biased to pass a law against hate crimes. Another says perhaps they fancy themselves so free of bias that they think the state doesn't need such a law. The lawmakers again shot down a proposal to penalize crimes motivated by hatred towards a person for who they are or what they believe, cementing for another year Indiana's status as one of the only 5 states without a hate crime law. Well, Indiana's company in that distinction, of course, 3 states in the Deep South, Arkansas, Georgia, and South Carolina, and 1, Wyoming. Ooh, bold republic country. Well, of course, Wyoming, that was also home to the murder of Matthew Shepard, the nation's most infamous anti-gay hate crime.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that reaction.
Well, to be honest with you, George, I never even heard about it. So, yeah. Republican Rep. Tom Washburn of Englefield quashed the proposal, saying that he doesn't think hate crimes should be considered more heinous than crimes committed against any other person for any other reason.
Yes.
It's that whole equality thing, he says. Well, instead, he framed it as an achievement to say, we don't judge the people for their motivations because then all victims were held in equal regard. And after all, isn't that what everybody says they want? Well, to me, he says, it's very difficult to say something is more or less of a crime based on somebody's motivation. Washburn said, so when you separate it and you try to create a special crime for it, what you're really saying is that if somebody on a street corner is on the street corner and they get beat up, of course, because somebody hates tall people and they happen not to be in any protected status, well, that's less of a crime than if they beat you up because you're of your national origin. Some supporters say it was more important to pass hate crime legislation this year than perhaps ever before because of the furor. Thank you. Around religious politics and the debate over extending civil rights to lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgender persons. Some lawmakers said that a hate crime law would mark a critical step towards inclusion. It would prove, they said, that Indiana isn't ruled by its prejudices. Well, there you go. Stand tall, Indiana. There you go. Well, that gave the law more support than it has seen in years from past Republican lawmakers and county or community groups. They say that hate crime laws are needed because bias is real. They say that some populations are particularly vulnerable because they often face persecution. Having harsher punishments for such motivations discourages that and sends a message across society that racism and other forms of bias will not be tolerated. Well, quit talking about it. Well, that gave that law, of course, that more support. Now, examples of incidents that could become under a hate crime law include the Chinese exchange student attacked in Nashville, Indiana last week by a suspect who told police that he was a white supremacist who hated Asians. Huh. How about the Muslim woman attacked in Bloomington, Illinois last fall by Indiana University student who ripped off her head covering? Oh, the heathen! Oh, my. Thus exposing her nasty bits of her face. How about the African Americans shot and killed as they prayed last year at a church in Charleston, South Carolina? The reluctance to adopt hate crimes legislation, supporters say, raises questions about how serious the state is about protecting minority rights. Well, states shouldn't be interested in that. They're minorities. Don't they want to help out the majorities? Well, no, I mean they're politicians.
Yes.
So they win by a majority.
Yes.
I think they probably want to go with what the majority wants.
Yes.
It's that whole self-preservation thing. Well, there are just as real strong philosophical differences about inclusion in our state right now, says Rep. Greg Porter, a Democrat of Indianapolis, who has supported the creation of a hate crimes law for more than 15 years. Well, how's that going, Greg? Oh, my.
Yes.
Well, he says he believes lawmakers may have an unconscious bias against hate crimes legislation. But proponents say that hate crime laws protect all people, not just minorities, and that's often misunderstood. Well, it goes back to what the Republican said.
Yes.
If you're on the corner and you get beat up,
Yes.
you're on the corner and you get beat up.
Yes.
If you get beat up, here's the law for getting beat up.
Yes.
Here's the sentence. Next window. But if one of them happens to be black,
yes,
and the guy doing the beating up is white,
yes,
well, he should still face charges for doing the beating up. Right? Doesn't matter if he's black or white, and indeed in all the other states,
yes,
that actually do have these hate crime laws,
yes.
Well, how much harsher are these penalties, and do we ever see an instance where a black man beats up a white guy and the hate crime laws are invoked? I don't think so. No. Actually, never.
Yes.
Well, Indiana University law professor Janine Bell said that hate crimes laws would protect not just victims targeted because of being black or gay, but also those harmed for being white or heterosexual. Well, how come the white and heterosexuals,
yes,
how come they're all okay with just regular beating laws? Why is that? You know, if there was a real need for hate crime laws,
yes,
I would think there'd be more of the majority getting on the bus. Well, states without hate crime laws are known as forward-thinking and protective of all citizens, Bell said. I like to think of Indiana as a place that cares about protecting all of its citizens from terrible acts committed by black people. Well, hate crimes laws, Bell said, reflect the mission of our civil rights laws, which, the civil rights laws that are, for the black people.
Yes.
Yeah, us white guys, we don't get any benefit of that. And people who hate people because of their religion, we call them bigots, Bell said. People who hate people because they're tall, we call them weird or jealous. Tallness is not as stigmatized in this society. So, okay, well, I'm going to start a new movement. Well, no, seriously, because I've ever since I was a kid,
yes,
I've always had a problem with girls who are taller than me. You know, if after a date I got to get a ladder to give her a kiss. No, that's not cool, and there should be some special penalties for tall bitches like that.
Yes.
They should have to end the date on their knees. Now, I think that's fair.
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you never went out with a tall girl, Louie. Never. Well, however, a spokesman for Marion County Prosecutor Terry Curry said explicitly that adding hate crimes to the law and sentencing aggravators gives better guidelines to both judges and prosecutors. That way, they can treat you as black.
Yes.
Or as white. Well, wait a minute. That's not equal. Well, this statute will also prompt law enforcement to train its officers and perhaps create separate units to investigate hate crimes, Bell said. Oh, would that be all the angry black cops? Yeah. Well, there's no proof that having hate crimes laws on the books prevents hate crimes from happening, Bell said. Well, no, the death penalty doesn't stop murder either. Jesus. Oh, but they do give tools to law enforcement when hate crimes occur. Well, no. The tools to law enforcement when what you're calling hate crimes occur, i.e. beating the guy on the corner, we have laws for beating the guy on the corner. The problem, said hate crimes bill author Senator Sue Glick, a Republican of LaGrange, is that lawmakers aren't willing to go that extra step to prove they believe in fairness for all Hoosiers. If anything, she said, Hoosiers don't believe we're biased or prejudiced, so they're reluctant to put it in a statute that maybe we are. And really, doesn't all of that go against the Constitution? Well, my Sue, yes, it does. My goodness, whatever. Yeah, I just do not get this hate crime stuff.
Yes.
I don't. You know, and that's the other thing too, that with the whole Black Lives Matter thing.
Yes.
Just because I say that Black Lives Matter doesn't matter. No, people get misunderstood about what I actually say.
Yes.
You know, when I say, I do it all the time on Twitter or out with people. Tony, my next door neighbor across the street.
Yes.
He is a big black guy that I do not want to piss off. Right? But you know, he's like, hey man, what's your radio station? Where do I get your radio station? I'm like, NewYorksBestTalk.com.
Yes.
Why? Because Tony's not an idiot.
Yes.
Tony knows this is an entertainment show and I'm being funny. But you see, here's the difference.
Yes.
I put my money where my mouth is. Tony knows he can come over here any old time of the day or night and beat me bloody. And of course, another very important factor.
Yes.
He doesn't have to worry about hate crimes laws because I'm white. No, the whole thing's really stupid.
Yes.
It's not that Black Lives don't matter.
Yes.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this Black Lives Matter movement is stupid.
Yes.
Because if you have to actually put it on a T-shirt and actually write it down and actually put it out there, we matter. Well, then you've already lost your own battle because you don't.
Yeah.
But I try to get it through these Black Lives activists.
Yes.
You know, I try and explain it to them. You know, you guys would matter a whole hell of a lot more if it wasn't this shoved in our face every time we deal with you.
Yes.
You know, every time, you know, we live in constant fear in this country.
Yes.
If we say anything that might be, God, slightly construed as any kind of a slight towards black people, we run the risk of having protests in front of our house. I don't want anybody busting into my house and stealing all my shoes and selling them on eBay.
Yes.
Saw a funny meme today.
Yes.
Yeah, it was on Facebook there, the International Space Station's Facebook feed. Here. There was a meme that said it was a picture of the Missouri Career Center.
Yes.
Where you go and get jobs.
Yes.
And the meme says this is the only building that was untouched in the Ferguson riots. Now. Well, gang, we're going to move along here. Now, before we move along here, we got some more musical joy here from the Dirty Bottom Boys. What are we doing? Okay. I'm not sure if Daniel from Australia is kicking around at all right now yet.
Yes.
Usually he comes in a little later.
Yes.
But, Daniel, you'll